What's going on, everybody? Michael Turk here, aka Hang Time. In today's video, I wanted to talk about how to get a Division I scholarship in 2020. I'm someone who has been to two Division I colleges, and I wanted to share some things that helped me and some tips that I learned along the way. I hope this video helps you, and with that being said, let's get right to it. All right, so the first thing that's not even one of the three tips that I'll give you, this should be rather obvious, but I see a lot of kids who neglect this, and this is actually the important part. The most important part of the entire recipe is your own personal hard work. Now, I've seen kids who are in 8th grade so worried about their upcoming years in high school, what they're gonna do in terms of connecting with coaches and sending in film, and they neglect the very basics of their own position, working out hard and getting better, the best they can be before that opportunity even comes. So the biggest tip, honestly, is work hard. Eventually it will pay off. But if you skip that part, then the rest of this video is completely meaningless. So make sure you're working hard at your craft and put in the work when no one's watching. Now, the first practical step I would like to suggest would be to make high quality film. During my gap year after high school ended, I had to live with my oldest brother. He let me live with him, and that's where I actually learned how to punt. For those of you who don't know, I punt here at Arizona State University, and in high school I actually had 3 ACL surgeries and never punted except once for my freshman year. So needless to say, I was behind the 8 ball in terms of being a punter. However, during this time with my brother, I quickly developed and got good, and towards the end of my gap year, I was able to compile a respectable highlight tape of my open field punts. Now, I didn't do this highlight tape at some random field with, an old iPhone and only one person helping. I gathered together 4 different people to help me make this film. I went to Southern Methodist University, I went to their official football field, and I had someone stand in the stands recording the punts, and then also had a snapper and someone else to call out the yard line. Now, whether you're a wide receiver, quarterback, kicker, punter, doesn't matter. The point is, make sure when you're submitting your film, obviously your game film will be great, but any sort of workouts that you have on your own, make sure the film is high quality, make sure there's someone to help you out, so that way when you do send it in and the coach takes the time to look at it, they're not struggling to see you or struggling to understand what they're looking at, because if they do, they will for sure not watch any of it. Coaches already have a short attention span as it is, and you don't want to make it harder by sending in film that is not high quality. Now, the second step I would say to help you get a Division I scholarship would be to proactively contact as many coaches as you can. For me, my oldest brother really helped me out in this process. I ended up getting the cell phone numbers of many special teams coaches, even though they were super hard to find online. In fact, I had to go through multiple layers, whether that was the football, front office, lower level scout and analyst, and work my way up asking them to get in touch with higher up people. If you're not direct in this process, if you're not emailing and calling, they're certainly not going to be, head over heels for you unless you are one of the top recruits. So you have to do your due diligence. You can't rely on anybody else. You have to go and search and find these people. And for those of you who don't know, a common format for most college coaches is first dot last at whatever the school is, edu. So for example, first dot last at asu.edu. Please don't bombard the ASU coaches, but that would probably work for most of them. Sometimes the format is first letter of their name dot last. So for example, it'd be m.turk at asu.edu, but it just depends. And if it doesn't go through, you'll get a bounce back, but I would encourage you to send out as many emails as you can. Hopefully one of the schools will be interested, and that way you can get their cell phone number and continue to work your way up to talk to the actual coaches. All right, the third step, this might seem kind of boring and not the most fun step, but it certainly does matter. Make sure you get good test scores, a good GPA as well. For me, in my high school career, I had an okay GPA, but what really helped me out get my first scholarship offer was I did very well on the ACT. And for those of you who don't know, that's a standardized test that's very similar to the SAT. And if that first school didn't give me a full scholarship offer, I kind of would not have known where to go because I didn't have any offers coming out of high school. I had to take a gap year, like I said. That was a relatively good academic school, and getting a high score on my ACT certainly helped when they gave me a full ride offer, and that was the only offer I got. So I'm thankful that my ACT score helped. Another thing with that, this isn't one of the tips, but it certainly could be. When they were offering me, Division I AA school, they offer you partial scholarships until they work their way up to a full scholarship. For me, I got offered about 25%. I levied back and said, you know what, I'm not going to be able to take that. If you can bump it up higher, maybe we can work something out. Eventually, they got up to 75%, and I still said, you know what, this is out of state. It's a smaller school. I'm sorry, I still can't go there. And thankfully, they ended up giving me 100% scholarship. And so that's the last tip I would give you, I guess. We'll throw in a fourth one there, is make sure you are selling yourself and not selling yourself short either. Coaches will, respect you they will respect you to a certain extent if you understand your own value. Now, I'm not saying to be prideful. I'm not saying to be punky by any means. But you don't want to sell yourself short, because at the end of the day, this is all a business, and you're trying to go at the spot that will maximize your career, correct? And they're trying to maximize their career as well. It's all love, but it is business at the same time. So I hope these 4 tips help you, and I hope you continue to work hard, because that's actually the most important thing. And thanks for watching this video. If you like anything like this, please consider subscribing, where I have workout videos, how-to videos, punt videos, and what it's like being a college football player. So thanks so much for watching. Until next time, this is Hang Time signing out.